Welcome back to New Hampshire Today with Jack Heath. It's more than politics. It's where you can get informed on all the news and happenings of your day. News Radio 610 and 96.7. We are your news, traffic, and weather station.
Welcome back. News time 6:42. Secretary of State Bill Gardner saying more candidates are running on the ballot, running for offices here in New Hampshire than we've ever had. A record year. That in the Granite Status today, New Hampshire New Leader. So despite the turnoff from politics, people are running. That's a good thing. Hopefully people vote Tuesday. One of the people running is Mary Linda Garcia. She's joining us now on the Auto Fair listener lines, running in the 2nd Congressional District Republican primary. Good morning, Representative. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good. You rested and recovered after that TV debate at WMUR last night?
Well, it is a little early, but I'm working on it. Still resting.
Well, let me just get this out of the way. One of the stories is they're playing up that, that you and at least Gary Lambert did not shake hands. Those are the things people notice. You and Mr. Lambert were here as part of the debate with Jim Lawrence a few weeks ago, and it was quite contentious. I would have to say probably you being attacked more than you being aggressive, but it seems you're a bit upset or had enough of Mr. Lambert's attacks on you on things like illegal immigration, or he was on the show the other day saying you favor amnesty. There's no love lost between you two at this point?
Well, I first of all just want to say that that really wasn't anything I planned, or I was in no way trying to create a scene. It was actually quite after we had concluded, everyone was wrapping up, and I shook hands with Jim Lawrence. He did as well, and then he turned to me, and I just reflexively, after the last debate, never mind, of course, debating about things such as voting record, things we've said, this, that, and the other, but he has had 4 mailers and no less than 3 TV ads. And again, it doesn't talk about my voting record. It doesn't talk about anything in my platform that he disagrees with. He has accused me of, think about it. I'm running on a Republican platform. I've served in the state legislature for about 8 years, and he accuses me of wanting to raise taxes by $140 billion. He accuses me of wanting to support amnesty and something, the Obama-Garcia plan, things like that. And now, as recently as yesterday, this is the day of our debate, after calls for civility from the GOP, after a group of veterans asked him to take down these completely incorrect ads, and after the union leader twice called him out for blatant lies, New Hampshire PolitiFact gave him a pants-on-fire rating, which only President Obama has received, and said that he was using scare tactics and that his ads were garbage. Yesterday, he came out with a 3rd TV ad saying that I support Obamacare, of all things. So I ask you, what is the purpose of shaking hands? I'm all about being civil, and I actually said, I'm sorry, but I can't shake your hand. I just, if he continues in this way, what's next? I wouldn't vote for me if what he said is true.
Well, Mary Linda Garcia, thank you for being candid. I can tell you're speaking from the heart. Jennifer's here, of course, in the studios. Jennifer, I can hear you. I think you're being very sincere. I don't like to comment, I don't like my commentary. I try and shy away, especially these primaries, to say what I think. And I've been around this a long time, and I think Mr. Lambert, in the beginning, was talking about his service as a Marine, his business stuff, and my 2 cents is at some point his people running the campaign say it's not working. You got to go negative. You got to go negative and attack her. Negative, on the one hand, the handlers say it works, but I got to tell you, I think lately, and I had him on my show the other day, I think he's gone over the top and been too negative, and I think it doesn't help in the primary. I think in primary you talk about what you stand for, what you believe in, but, unfortunately it works, and we'll see on Tuesday, but I can tell you've had enough, you're fed up, and I probably can't say I blame you. So.
Well, again, it was just reflexive. I have done my very best to stick to the issues, to run a positive campaign myself. But the other unfortunate side effect of this, along with the fact that with politics being what they are these days, it's really sad that I have to read headlines that say, the 2nd Congressional District is nasty, and there's mudslinging, because frankly, I have to respond to these, when my volunteers are making phone calls, what are they getting? They're getting calls from people saying, is this true? I'm really concerned about this. So
go ahead.
So I have to devote, basically all of the time and attention in my campaign where I was trying to communicate and spread, what ought to be our shared values, but I'm frankly being defamed.
Well, Mary Linda Garcia, that if you're running for office and your opponent or your neighbor says you robbed a bank, and you didn't rob a bank, but if you don't respond, eventually people are saying, "Hey, I heard you robbed the bank." You end up having to say, "No, I didn't." Well, let me ask you this: you have a few moments here before we let you go. The vote's Tuesday. A pretty widespread audience. Many people may be voting. What do you want to say about the number one reason why you feel you should win the primary Tuesday, and why you feel you're the best person to take on Ann Custer, who's, by the way, while this has been going on, has raised a lot of re-election money?
Right. Well, it starts off with my general message, which is, we're at a point where we have a lot of longstanding problems in this country, and we also have we have a president and administration who is supported almost 100% by Representative Ann Custer, who is continually deceiving us, promoting policies that I couldn't disagree with more, and also is just always seeking to divide us as citizens and mandate this equality of outcome to solve our inequalities. That's what they seek to do through the government, make us equal, make us all the same, redistribute our resources. I sincerely believe that the U.S. and New Hampshire as part of that are exceptional because we've offered opportunity to all. I have served in the state legislature. I've always supported lower taxes, government accountability, transparency, and just reducing the size and scope of that, regulatory authority, bureaucracy, all of these things. At this point, I am considered, and I appreciate it by various outlets as the front runner, just due to the fact I've seen, great enthusiasm on the ground. I have great turnout. I've received endorsements from conservative groups here in the state and nationally. I have been successful in raising funds, and I really do believe that I am best suited to take on Representative Custer, who I'm sure will say all sorts of interesting things that I didn't know about me. But at the end of the day, I've been combating this, Democratic rhetoric of the war on women, and I do believe that I can be effective in that. So I would appreciate anyone's support.
Before we let you go to maybe your final interview before the Tuesday vote, I know the campaigns, when we have one candidate on, they listen because we posted or say you're going to be on, and I'm sure the Gary Lambert folks are listening, and Jim Lawrence. If you had one quick message to say to Mr. Lambert about his negative attacks, what would it be real quickly?
I would just say you're being part of the problem, Mr. Lambert, and you're doing a disservice to our entire party and all of those that, seek to represent our values as Republicans on the national stage. I'm sorry, I'm not a fake person. And again, if the things he's saying he truly believes, then there's no way he ought to support me if I prevail on Tuesday. So I would ask him, again, as I have and as many people have, really consider what it is you're putting on TV. Everyone knows that they are false. Anyone paying attention and that knows my record. So I ask him to reconsider that.
Thank you very much, and good luck Tuesday. Thank you, Mary Linda Garcia, live on the Auto Fair listener line on New Hampshire Today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
All right, we'll take a break. Back in a few. News Radio 610, 96.7.